Good morning, Funsters. Today's going to be a sizzling day as we bake in our parable today. And it's from the Gospel of Matthew. He proposed another parable to them. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed that a person took and sowed in a field. It is the smallest of all the seeds, yet when full grown, is the largest of plants. It becomes a large bush, and birds of the sky come and dwell in its branches. In March, I was actually in Israel. That's where Jesus lived. And one day as we were going through the city of Jerusalem, we stopped at a mustard plant. And they are pretty big. It's a big plant. It's really tall. It is a bush. Grew almost as big as a tree. And our guide actually pulled a seed off of it. And I wish I could show you. The seed was so tiny. And it's amazing to think that this really tiny seed, it's about the size if you put a period on a piece of paper with a pen. It's about that size. And to think that this amazing plant came out of that really tiny seed just made me stop and think about the point Jesus was trying to make. The point that it's not about how big our faith is when we start believing in Jesus. It's rather just having some level of faith in Jesus. As I look at my own life and my own journey and following Jesus and making way for Jesus in my life, when I was your age, I kind of knew who Jesus was. I believed in Jesus. And I knew what I hope you know, how much Jesus loved me. But that was probably the level of my faith. I mean, there were things I could talk about Jesus a little bit, but it would take time for me to really come to know him. As I got older and as I grew up, I came to know more and more about Jesus. And the more I knew, the deeper my faith grew. It started getting bigger. And that allowed me to follow Jesus even more. But the important thing is, through all of those times, is my faith, whether it was just that small mustard seed or as it got bigger and bigger, following Jesus came down to the same thing. Making way for him in my life came down to the same thing every day. It was, again, kind of like what we talked about yesterday. It was learning to speak the way Jesus wanted me to speak. And it was learning to act in the way Jesus was calling me to act. Because that's really what it's about. That's really how our faith grows. The more we act like Jesus, the more we have faith in Jesus. And the bigger our faith gets. And that's the great thing about Jesus. He doesn't care how small our faith is or even how big our faith is. He just cares that we have faith in him. Because ultimately, Jesus can make the rest of it work. That's why we make way for Jesus in our life. Because, quite frankly, we can't do it on our own. We need Jesus to be able to follow Jesus. We need Jesus in our life to help us to grow in our faith. So each day, it's about taking a little time and praying with Jesus. It's about stopping and maybe thinking about Jesus. Just for a couple moments every day. Taking like 5 or 10 minutes to pray to Jesus. And then during the day, just stopping and just thinking, today, have I made way for Jesus in my life? Have I done the things Jesus wanted me to do to this point? And if I haven't, it's to stop and make the decision, I'm going to make way for Jesus now. And do what I need to do. Because that's how our faith will grow. It doesn't just happen. It's something we have to work at. But we never work at it alone. make way for Jesus, Jesus is there with us. May we really sort of make way for Jesus today by growing a little in prayer and stopping to think about him throughout the day.